Hello, everybody. I'm Cameron Bailey, the artistic director and co-head at TIFF. I want to welcome you back to Stay at Home Cinema. We're all across Canada watching tonight Beetlejuice, the movie by Tim Burton, starring Geena Davis and Alec Baldwin, and in an unforgettable role, Catherine O'Hara. And we're going to be joined by Catherine O'Hara and also the production designer for the film, Welch, shortly. First, I want to just give some shout outs and tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. We're at home because we have to be at home. It's really important, critically important, to stop the spread of COVID-19, that we stay at home as much as possible. While we're home, we need something to do, and that's watch movies. And we at TIFF and Crave felt that the best thing to do was to watch movies together. So what we do is we start here with a conversation on Instagram Live. We then go over to Crave. We watch the movie together there. If you're in Canada, if you're outside Canada, you can watch Beetlejuice in whatever way you can find. And then we talk along. We have a chat as we're watching the movie on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, using the hashtag TIFF at home or Crave times TIFF. So please join us for the evening. Gather the family around. If you've seen Beetlejuice before, you're going to love watching it again in a new way. And if you've got members of your household who haven't seen Beetlejuice yet, sit them down and let's watch it together. For some shout outs, we want to thank all the people who make everything we do at TIFF possible, beginning with our lead sponsor, Bell. Crave is brought to us by Bell, and they were immediate partners for this, so we're really thankful to them. Also, RBC, L'Oreal Paris, and Visa, and all of our support from the government, which we need more than ever these days. In this case, it's the City of Toronto and the Ontario Arts Council that support what we're doing here tonight. And also thanks to everyone who's ever donated anything to TIFF. That might be you as a member or a donor. We hope we can count on your support as we get through this together and come back strong as soon as we possibly can, but we're going to stay safe until we can do that. Now I want to introduce two of the people who were there back in, I guess it was 1987 when the film was shot, released in 1988. The star of this film and the star of so many other things. I first saw her on Second City TV. We all know her now as Moira Rose on Schitt's Creek, which is going to see its final episode next week on Tuesday. Can't wait to see that. And also, she's joined by her partner, Welch, who is the production designer on Beetlejuice, and something that I think a lot of fans know. They met on this film. We're going to talk a little bit about that, I hope. So now let me try to bring up via the made new account and Welch from Beetlejuice. Catherine, are you there? Oh, we're waiting to connect. And in the meantime, I want to let you know, there we are.
We did
Catherine,
it!
how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. And you are outside. That's nice. You're safely social distancing from other people, I hope.
The art directed us and moved the couch over to in front of the lovely view.
Nice.
We actually live
great.
outdoors. We don't really have a home.
Well, it looks terrific. Thank you so much for doing this. We're all excited to be watching this classic together across Canada. And we're glad you can be here to join us to talk a little bit about it. I want to begin by asking you about when this movie was proposed to you. Tim Burton at the time was not that well known. He'd made Pee-wee's Big Adventure, but he was kind of a Hollywood outsider still. How did you both come to be a part of Beetlejuice?
You got hired before I did.
Oh, that's right. I got hired first, as the production designer does. I was doing a movie on the Warner Brothers lot called Lost Boys. Perhaps you remember
it well.
That. Classic. And Tim's office was on Warner Brothers lot, and he happened to come and visit our set one day. I think my agent said, "Go check out the set. It's good." And he came through, checked it out, and that got me at least an interview with him, and we hit it off, and the rest is history.
Yeah,
he was such a youngster. Yeah, we did Beetlejuice, Edward Scissorhands, and Batman Returns together, and then he went to England.
Right. That really distinctive Tim Burton look. A lot of that's down to you and your work as well.
Yeah, those were the days. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And Catherine, how did you get on?
Well, Bo, I was holed up in my house in Toronto, not knowing what to do with my life. I left SCTV well before that and really had no plans and was kind of depressed. And I kept getting phone calls about this movie that some guy named Tim Burton was going to do. And the guy calling me was David Geffen at the time. I didn't know who he was. It was before internet.
You know the guy out on his yacht who got his
Of course.
Okay, that was a mistake. Yeah, and kept calling me saying I should come in. I should come to LA and meet on this movie. I was, oh no! And then I was just. It finally hit me. I didn't know what I was going to do, and I had to change my life, and it changed my life. Meeting this man. So I went to LA. I flew myself there. I rented a car. The address I was given to meet Tim was something Warner Boulevard, but it wasn't. It was a different Warner. It wasn't in Burbank where he was waiting. It was in Anaheim, which is many more
far away.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And I drove, and I'm driving thinking, what? This guy cannot be very well connected to show business because I know show business way back there and he's way out here. And I finally stopped at a payphone because there were no cell phones then. At least I didn't have one. And I phoned my agent and they went, what? No, you're supposed to be in Burbank. Get back there now. I drove down another hour going back. Bad truck, it's a cute story, isn't it? And got to the office where I was supposed to meet Tim, and there was a note on the door saying, I'm sorry, I couldn't wait any longer. But
You missed the audition.
Oh, I missed the meeting, yes. And I'm happy to audition, but it was a meeting. And then I went home. So I flew myself home to Toronto. And then I got a phone call a while later, I guess. They offered the part to me. And I'd have blown it if I did have a meeting or an audition. So it really worked out.
Wow. They just really wanted you.
After they couldn't
They
find me.
They wanted to see if she could drive to Anaheim and back.
Right. Like
That's
all
the
good
best.
LA stories, it's a driving story as well.
Yes, it's so
So
sad.
sad.
All the times I drove myself to auditions and didn't get rolled. Rented a car, flew to LA. So sad.
I want to ask you about the look of the film and the practical effects and things that you use, both in terms of costumes and wigs, Catherine, and also Bo in terms of the production design. This is well before computer-generated effects took over so much of what we see in movies now. Catherine, could you talk first about how the costumes and the wigs and the hair and makeup and all of that helped get you in the character of Delia Deetz?
Yeah, the clothes were wild. I think Delia Deetz is very much related to a character I played recently.
Yes.
The same avant-garde sensibilities, the same wanting to prove to the world that we're artists, so desperate to prove to the world that we have talent. And so the wardrobe was great. What was that?
One of my
What was her name? Oh, go ahead.
Aggie Rogers,
Aggie Rogers,
was
the
the
costume
costume
designer.
designer. One of my favorite things that Catherine did, and I think it was her idea, where she took a shirt and turned it upside down and put her legs through the sleeves.
Oh, it was a man's sweater.
It was
Yeah.
a man's sweater.
I think I'd actually seen the British.
And I thought, oh my God, that is so cool.
That was fun. Another fun thing we did was wrap a long leather glove around my head and have the hand sticking up here. I think that was what we did.
Yes.
Really fun. Yeah.
That's
Wardrobe
where
and
your
hair.
improv comes into, it goes into every part of your work.
It does, yeah, because we were lucky. We worked with great collaborative artists in hair and makeup and wardrobe on SCTV, and that's where Eugene and the other castmates and I kind of learned that we could have a hand in these things and creating our characters. And if we worked with really good people, they were willing to collaborate and play with us. So yeah, it's hard not to do that now. I'm spoiled.
Yeah. And Bo, the production design of the film, and you'd worked with Tim on films after that as well. What kind of influences for Beetlejuice were you drawing on for that kind of crazy funhouse, horror house look?
And why did all the furniture try to kill us?
Well, that was my first job with Tim, and it was a real eye-opener. And I drew a lot of my inspiration from he did all these beautiful little character drawings of all the characters in the movie. Beautiful little ink and wash drawings, and he had them pinned on it behind his head in his office. And I'd look at those and go, oh, I see. This is where we're going. And then, And he's always been a huge fan of scary movies, and then so we looked at a few scary movies, you know, black and white old movies, and that's what he was raised on, basically. And then German expressionism. Yeah, those were the main elements.
And
Yeah.
the effects, he brought up effects. The effects, weren't they all old horror movie style, like live? They were live
Well,
effects.
there was a lot of in-camera,
In-camera,
whenever possible, puppeteers, and then there was a lot of stop motion, which you know he continued to do forever. No digital effects per se. This was really sort of pre-digital, and it gives it a lovely, homemade, crafted, personal, graphic feel that I think makes the movie work. One of the great things about this movie, though, was we were really off the radar. The people who had read it at Warner Bros. Said, "Oh, this is wacky, kooky movie." It wasn't expensive. We went off to Culver Studios, and we were left alone because everyone just didn't get it. And so we really had a ball making it, you know, without any, you know, tons of studio notes, and it wasn't a 4-quadrant, you know, giant, you know, franchise picture at the time.
You were just having fun.
So it was really fun. It was really like art school. Yeah.
Speaking of fun, I have to ask you about one of the scenes that's become iconic in Beetlejuice, which is, of course, the Deo dinner party dance scene. Catherine, can you talk a little bit about how that came to be? I understand you had some role in creating that.
No, I'm so stupid. I really wanted a Bob Marley or Jimmy Cliff song. I thought, why are we doing this old song?
So could have worked.
Good thing they didn't listen to me. Like, no woman, no cry or something. And yeah, so they got the song, Deo. And then we worked with the choreographer a few times. And that was really fun because she sort of, this choreographer kind of, you know, set the whole scene for all of us around the table. Because that's a lot of people. That's a big shoot. When you have, any dinner scene's a big shoot, but when you have dancing involved. So there was a bit of rehearsal for that. And we all got to add our own stupid moves, you know, funny stuff to, and that was really, really fun. That dinner table with Dick Cavett.
Yeah.
And Bonnie, at the time, she was married to David Byrne and
Glenn Shaddix.
God bless him.
And oh no, it was fantastic.
It was really fun.
And again, in camera effects underneath that table were
that was the best.
Were how many people were there?
At each of our place settings. Oh, the
at
shrimp.
Each place setting was a person with a shrimp glove on that came out.
Really, just kind of popping up.
Yeah. There was a glove, and we knew
when. A puppeteer with a glove.
We knew generally when it was supposed to happen in the song. That the you know, it was near the end. The shrimp come and grab each of our heads, and we knew it was coming. But it's like you're a little kid, you know when your parents
the Jack in the Box
for fun, and you know it's happening, but you're still scared. And they would get the cue. Somebody would give them a cue. Okay, to all of the. There was a guy at each place setting under the table with his hand up like this, right? And
it was scary even if you knew it was coming.
Every single time we're like, ah! For real. It was really fun. And the other live effect that I remember is the giant snake was a puppet.
Oh, yeah.
And they wrapped it around me and then pulled it.
And then shoot it in reverse.
Whipped me. Yeah, but it shot in reverse, so it looked like it was coming. But instead, it was wrapped around me. They pull it. They whip me off my feet, and I landed on my back. And again, I'm going to reference again, kids and parents. But when a toddler falls and then they look at you to see if they're hurt.
Yes.
And if you go, oh, you fell, then it's okay. But everyone on the set looked at me like, and I thought I started crying. This is what I remember. I didn't get hurt. I started crying because they looked at me like I was dead.
Oh my God.
It was appropriate for the movie. Yes.
Listen, we've got a couple of questions from members and then some people on Facebook as well. I want to throw some of those out to you too. Alexandra Wild, who's a TIFF member, asks, what's been your favorite character to play, Catherine, and why?
Besides Beau's wife.
Yeah, let's say, of course, besides Beau's wife, and maybe even besides Delia Deetz.
Oh, that's fun.
What do I get for that? No.
Accolades.
Oh, gee. I would say one. I had so much fun on SCTV. It was fun, although I didn't do it much. It was fun playing Lola. Heatherton.
Oh, yes, Lola.
Wear her wig by dear Judy Cooper Seeley. The wig
Mm-hmm.
that Judy got for me for Lola. I got to wear that on the last episode of Schitt's Creek.
Oh,
Yeah.
the very same wig?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Judy gave it to me, and I have it. Yeah, it's got little colored pieces in it. Oh, so great.
Oh.
God bless her. Really fun doing that kind of stuff, but I never played a character for any real length of time, and this was the most fun. Playing Moira Rose. Really fun.
I can imagine.
Playing an alien, basically.
Well, you got the chance to develop it and
Yeah.
have it grow. That's the beauty of television or streamings.
Right. Well, especially when the scripts are well written and you
Yeah.
actually do have a growth.
Andrea on Facebook asked, besides that obvious sense of fashion, what do Moira Rose and Delia Deetz have in common?
More, I guess, like I said, the desperation. The first of all, not having any clue of what impression they're actually making on people. It's big ego, low self-esteem,
Right.
and kind of maybe delusional, maybe not. I always thought, I mean, for my playing Delia, I thought Delia was a great artist, but others didn't see it that way. And then with Moira, Moira really believes that she's got talent and all the potential in the world, untapped potential. So that, and of course, none of us share that.
No, that's only in fiction, right?
Yes, of course.
Nicole Hayward, another TIFF member, wanted to know, what's your favorite thing about filmmaking? This is for both of you. What's your favorite thing about filmmaking, and what advice would you give to people who want to make films in the future?
Who's that for?
You answer.
No, you go with that one.
No, you're way better
For
at
both of
this.
you.
Well, basically I'm a production designer, and I love reading great material, imagining in my head, and then the blank piece of paper that you start to fill up with images. Then to see those realized and built and inhabited by talented actors is just still to this day, 30 or 40 years later, sends chills down my spine of joy.
Joyful
So
chills.
yeah, reading it, seeing it, nurturing it, and then having it come to life when it's inhabited by actors. It's just the best. And tangible stuff.
And what advice for young production designers
Oh,
do you have?
jeez, I don't know. Read, draw, and nurture your imagination. Then find out who's making films, whether they're short, long. Get in there and do it.
And tell them the obvious thing that wasn't obvious to me about when you do an interview. That the prefix actually means between two.
Yeah.
I always went to your interviews thinking I was being interviewed and I was the one that had to impress.
Right.
And when I met Bo, he talked about, no, you're checking them out too and seeing if you want to
Inter
work with-
means
What?
both ways. So
Yeah.
I think it's up to you also to decide, can I have dinner with this person? Can I work with them? It's not just, here I am to see if I'm any good,
Right.
Yeah, it is.
It's a two-way.
It's a two-way street.
Both.
You have to have confidence.
Yeah, that's very good advice. I have to ask, and this is a question that Courtney from Facebook had as well. Tell us the story of how you met on the set of Beetlejuice.
Well, Bo was there when I got there. Thank you. Actually, Glenn Shaddix, God bless him, took me around when I got there. He was the social director of
Yes,
Schitt's
he
Creek
was.
and continued to be until he passed away. He would always get us together at least once a year for years. But my first day, I guess I met with Tim, and then I met Glenn, who was just staying there, hanging around, having fun. He took me to every department to meet everyone. So he actually introduced me to Bo first and everyone in the art department. And then on the set, we'd talk and laugh, and I was really falling for him. But he never asked me out. And then
It's a little awkward though, isn't it? I mean, you're in the cast, you're on the
This is my
craft side.
second job as a production designer. And I'm low 30s, and it just never occurred to me that you were even supposed to talk to the talent, much less. I thought I'm the guy who makes sets, and So she would talk to me.
Like you never dated actresses before.
No, I didn't really.
Still telling this story.
I didn't. No.
No. You used to say you didn't think you should date actors, and I'd say, it's okay, I'm not really an actor.
But people, yeah. No, I didn't think you were supposed to, quite honestly.
You weren't attracted to me. It's okay.
No, I remember being in my office when Glenn first took Catherine around, and I heard Glenn's booming voice down the hall. And down here is and then I saw Glenn walk by, and then I saw this beautiful woman just flash by the door, and I went, what the heck was that? That must be Catherine O'Hara.
Oh, you're good. Okay.
And see, now I'm changing.
Really, I don't care.
It's
good. It's good. It's coming along well.
No, then 3 months went by of shooting, but we would talk on the set. It was like high school. We talked to me today. He talked to me for 3 minutes. He talked to me for 7 minutes. And then the art department, Bo and the art department went ahead to, where were we shooting?
We shot everything on stage, and then we went to Vermont to shoot.
That's right.
The exterior of the house and the town and the school.
Right. So while you were
And the
gone, we
bridge.
continued shooting stuff on stage. Yeah. And Tim and I were chatting one day, and he had a girlfriend on the set, and he was having a good time. He kept coming to work with hickeys. Hope he doesn't have
His girlfriend were the legs in the afterlife.
That's right, Stefania. The legs.
This is just getting better and better.
Yeah, it's a little too inside. No, sorry. So Tim and I were chatting about life and love, and I said, "What about you?" And I said, "Oh, production designer. Bo Welch keeps talking to me every day, but he won't ask me out. Let me see what I can do." So I got to Vermont, and we were shooting on your set. We have the model of this. It's great. The set that goes out from the house. What's that called? What did you call that piece?
I don't know what you call that piece.
It's like a
It was
deck with no
porch.
roof.
It was like
porch.
a weird postmodern gesture
Right.
that was tacked onto the onto that farmhouse.
And we were shooting at Jeffrey, and Glenn and I were shooting the scene out there, and you came up to me on some break and said, "Oh, the art department's going to a swap meet tomorrow. You want to come with us?" Like you'd been told. You ask her now.
Tim had come up
That
to me.
was your first date.
Yeah, Tim made him ask me
Tim
out.
said,
It's great.
Tim was not real vocal. And he said, Bo, you should ask Catherine out. And I went, okay.
So he didn't say to
It
get
was
her
like
off my back.
I said,
And the rest is history.
okay.
Yeah.
I do it
Years and years later, you're together. I love this story, guys. Thank you. We're about to start watching the movie at 7:30 Eastern Time. I got one last question for you, Catherine, which is, if Moira Rose was going to sit down tonight to watch Beetlejuice, what would she say? What would her reaction be?
Why didn't I get that part?
Of course.
I know my perfect kiss.
Thank you both so much. Thanks for
You're
taking
very
the
welcome.
time. I
Thank
really
you,
appreciate
Ryder.
it.
Thank you.
Stay
That was
safe
fun.
out there.
Thank you.
And,
Yeah, don't touch your face.
Yes, exactly. I'm trying not to. All right. Take care.
God bless you all. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.